Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. It's Dave here. And I just went for like a 4 mile run this morning in my village and was doing a lot of thinking while running. In about 2, 3 hours, I don't even know what time it is. In a couple hours, Kristen and I have our filming for Lift More. We're in week 6 right now, another 2.5 weeks done, 2.5 weeks left. And the program will be officially done with filming. But I've been thinking back over the last 11 years of just my life and my journey and the things that I struggled with and the things that I accomplished and the things that I, in fact, that I'm trying to achieve in my life. And the thing that I keep reminding me over and over again is the importance to trust the process. I was listening to some YouTube videos last week and the week before that Kristen was sending to me. Trust the process, because I feel that you know in life, every time we hit something or we achieve a certain goal, we always maybe are striving for something that's next, and at times it can be daunting, at times it can be exhausting, at times it can be hard, but you have to understand that every beautiful tree in the forest, every tree that's outside behind me, every flower that is grown, every vegetable that is grown in a garden, it all starts in the dirt, in a very lonely, dark place. And it needs a lot of watering. It needs a lot of taken care of, and it needs a ton of patience before something grows, before you reap a harvest. The biggest trees out here behind me start in soil by themselves that's lonely and dark. And I think it so aligns with life when we're trying to achieve goals. And it is so hard in this world that we live in today that if we need something, we can order it and have it to our house within a day or 2 days. If we're unsure of something on information, we can go to Google and instantaneously get information. And we have been so caught up in the microwave mentality of life that we expect that our success to also happen just as fast. And that's just not the case. So for me, the second part of trusting the process is when people are like, David, how did you become a keynote motivational speaker? Or how did you all of a sudden, you wrote this book? Or how did you build, the Beachbody business? Or how did you and Kristen retire in your 40s in our home? And the thing I always say is, and it's in my book, is work with what you have, with where you are, because what you have is plenty. I did not see where I am today 10 or 11 years ago. All I saw 11 years ago, to take you guys through the journey, was I was not in a healthy place physically, mentally, spiritually, in all those places. I was overweight and I wanted to get healthy and fit. That was the only thing. I worked with what I had, which was my health and fitness, because what I had was plenty, and that's what I focused on, what was just in front of me. And Kristen and I started exercising at home early in the morning, making sacrifices of some sleep, something I talk about in my book about having to willingness to make sacrifices. And that was at the expense of our health. It was worth it for me to get up a little earlier to get healthier. And then Kristen and I started getting healthy and fit, and people recognized what we were doing, and we were feeling good. Our energy was good. Our mindset was good. So we shared it with other people. That's what was in front of us at that point. First, it was take care of our health. Then it was people are asking what we're doing. Let's share it with what we're doing. And then from there, we realized, wow, there's a business that we can grow. And we started wanting to share it with the world, with all moms and dads. And the business started growing. Back to what I said, guys, two things. One is trust the process, because that took years in the making. And two is work with what you have, with where you are, because what you have is plenty. So at the point then it was, okay, now we can help more people and build a business. And then again, as we were trusting the process, for me, I started being offered the opportunity, at business events with Beachbody to speak for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, to finish out a quarterly meeting in a library, and then into a hotel conference room and just give a pep talk of things I learned from my health and wellness journey to my mindset, from things I learned from reading books. And I just worked with what I had with where I was, because what I had was plenty. I can't say that enough. And then when I did that, it grew to larger audiences of a few hundred to 1,000 people. And then it grew an invitation to, David, I want you to share your story in front of 20,000 people in the NFL Superdome. Guys, at that point, my book wasn't on my mind. Being a paid keynote motivational speaker in the real estate industry, in the insurance industry, in the staffing industry, stuff I'm doing today was not even on my radar. All that was on my radar at that point was I'm healthy and fit. I work out. Kristen and I share it passionately with other moms and dads to get them healthy and fit. And now I'm sharing my journey in front of an audience, a larger audience, to inspire and empower them to go out there and do the same thing. And then all of a sudden, that grew to people getting in my ear saying, David, your message, the way you can command a stage, your passion, your energy, you need to now take this and go be a speaker in a bigger platform. And then my keynote speaking industry started. And guys, that was 2 years ago. And not that I was speaking 2 years ago, but that was me 2 years ago, investing into myself, right? At the time, hiring an amazing coach to teach me, who is in that industry, on how to actually do it. And then with my head down for 2 years, I just worked and made connections. And I just kept going and going. And back to my first thing, guys, trusting the process. I now had a new seed of speaking that was in the soil, and it is dark and it was lonely, and there was many late nights building my website or making my highlight reel, or there were times when I was by myself and there was rocky ground, meaning I had things that were sharp and hurt me, right? They also say a diamond in its original form is a piece of coal, but through extreme pressure and heat, it eventually turns into a diamond. Well, you in your life, through the process, have to understand, you yourself have to go through extreme heat and extreme pressure and be willing to be in the dark by itself, like a seed that grows into a beautiful tree. But we get so caught up when we want things to happen overnight, and that's just not the case, right? And then after my speaking started, and right now, like as I sit here, I spoke in New York last week or 2 weeks ago. Next week, I'm flying to California. I'm speaking in Massachusetts. I have an event in Nashville this summer. I'm going to Orlando. I'm going to Omaha, Nebraska. I'm possibly going to Idaho in September. This, people like, how did this happen? Guys, this didn't happen overnight. This went through the process of being lonely and just kept watering the soil and kept working and working with what I had, with where I was, because what I had was plenty. And that was what was in front of me. And then people like, well, where'd this book come from? Like, how did that happen? Guys, that also was 2 years ago when I was going for a run, and I just said, all of the things I have learned from, not making excuses, not playing victim, having a victor mentality, willingness to make sacrifices, be intentional with your hours every single day, not comparing yourself to somebody else further along in their journey, all these different principles that I've learned, I then said, I want to put them in a book. And then the name of the book, The Leveled Up Life, was because it was about leveling up my life with where I was. And guys, this has been an 11-year build. And you know what? I don't even feel like I'm halfway there. I don't know where I'll be in a year from now. I don't know where I'll be in 5 years from now. All I'm doing is working with what I have working with what I have with what I am, because what I have is plenty. And for me right now, you know what that is? That is next week speaking at 2 events and raising the roof and empowering these people. That is my book that's going to be going on pre-order hopefully next week, and speaking on. I have over like 20 calls on Zooms I'm speaking on to share some of my principles to help other people then read the book and get the book so that they can change their life. But again, this wasn't something that just happened today or overnight. This was a process, a journey, and that's where the growth happens. So guys, I implore all of you guys, my message to you guys is, whatever you are trying to accomplish, don't worry about how you're going to get to that place 5 years from now, even 30 days from now. Work with what you have, with where you are right now, because what you have is plenty. If you are a baby new Beachbody coach, then you just work on learning the basic principles of being a coach. If you are a diamond coach, learn the principles to be a star diamond. If you are building a business, just worry about getting it off the ground. Don't worry about your competitor that's been doing it for 5 years. If you are somebody that wants to write a book and people are like, what's your best advice? Just start writing. Don't look at me, that's almost done. I just started writing. You just have to work with what's in front of you. You have to have an unbelievable amount of patience, and you have to have the vision for yourself where you see yourself literally achieving what it is you're set out to achieve before you're even there. That is the most powerful thing, guys. You have to almost have self-actualization and the vision to see yourself literally doing it before you're even there. And that vision is what's going to pull you, is going to be the magnet to pull you when times get tough and you're lonely, because you know you can do it in your heart. You have that fire in your belly and you know you can do it. Guys, if you work with all those things, you block out all the noise, you focus on what you have in front of you, and you trust the process, you will do things that you couldn't believe were even possible. Guys, please share this message. Let's spread more positivity in the world. Let's help more people live a healthy and fulfilling life. You know, the one liner in my book on the cover is the no excuse blueprint to live your life to your fullest potential. Let's help other people live their life to their fullest potential, right? Why not you? It is your turn, and let's do it. So guys, hopefully this message was of value to you. Having a great, amazing Wednesday. I need to go inside and hydrate. I am super thirsty, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.